E-I-Z, yeah. E-I-Z, not Dr. Charlie. E-I-Z, yeah. E-I-Z, not Dr. Charlie. E-I-Z, yeah. E-I-Z, not Dr. Charlie. E-I-Z. Hello, thank you very much for joining us right here at EIZ, Entrepreneurship Institute of Zimbabwe. My name is Dr. Charlie, full name Charles Dawa. Here at EIZ, we are on first name basis, and that's why I said my name is Dr. Charlie, and I am widely known as Dr. Charlie in academia, in SMEs, as well as in entrepreneurship. I want to extend a cordial welcome to you to Entrepreneurship Institute of Zimbabwe, EIZ. And our payoff line is Mentors for Success. We prioritize knowledge, innovation, and transformation. Good news, and I want to welcome you. You are joining this podcast for one reason. You have indicated your keen interest in our program SGVP, which means Start, Grow Your Venture Program. And most likely, you would have attended our presentation at your college or at your university. If you did not attend, it's not a problem, because the purpose of this podcast is to explain our program SGVP, which is Start, Grow Your Venture Program. It is always good to start with a background or the context. You will agree with me that in Zimbabwe, over 80% of our college and university students are going for not less than 5 years before they secure employment. Unemployment continues to rise and at unprecedented levels. As a result, as EIZ, we have come up with this program SGVP as an intervention mechanism to help our college and university students improve their employability. You might be at a teacher's college, a polytechnic, or university. It is good that you have decided to pursue that diploma or degree program. But the whole purpose of SGVP is to equip you with practical skills so that you can more successfully start, manage, and grow your own business. And you have been given permission by the parent ministry, that is the Ministry of Higher and Tertiary Education, to go around our higher and tertiary education institutions and explain our program, the SGV program. Now, here is how it works. It is a mandatory 1-year coaching, which is just 2 semesters. So what do we do during this mandatory 1-year coaching? We will equip you with all the knowledge with regards to how can you successfully start your own business. And this initial coaching will last the first semester. In the second semester, we expect you then to start your new business. Naturally, we will help you to start with those more feasible or more practical businesses, which is at your level of risks, and also which does not require much capital. So we can help to train you using that easy to start small business. If by any chance you do not succeed in starting your business in the second semester, it's not an issue. We are aware that there are some students who would prefer just to use the 1 year to get this practical coaching and training in as far as starting a business, whilst they concentrate mostly on their academic studies. We are aware of that. And that after they have graduated in their diploma or degree program, they then come and say, I am ready now to start my business. We are now talking after 3 years or after 4 years. This is quite perfect. You will still come because you are an EIZ trainee, you have our EIZ student ID, so you can still come. And also by that time, we will also have increased our own funding portfolio so that we are ready to finance you. But if you are among the few who would say, I want to take the risk of actually saying, in my second semester, I actually start whatever business that I can start, then again, this is perfect. We will use this second semester to coach and train you, and will help you to source the funding. I know you are asking, where are we going to get the funding? Now, these are the different types of sources of funding for any business. Number one, there is what is called the entrepreneur capital. The entrepreneur capital is actually your own capital. I know you can say, but I'm a student. Yes, that is very true. There are some students who are actually able to raise their own capital as a show or as a demonstration of their keen interest in getting into business. And some students might actually get help from their parents, their cousins, their nephews, and their relatives to actually start up a business. So your own contribution is actually one source of capital. The next source of funding is obviously the traditional, whereby you are borrowing either from banks or from microfinance, and this is debt financing. It has got its advantages and disadvantages in the sense that currently in the market the interest rates tend to be high, but yet it is quite a reliable form of sourcing funds and funding your business. Another type of funding is what we call venture capital. Now, talking about venture capital, these are companies or organizations which mobilize significant resources and then use these funds to actually fund different types of startups or early stage businesses. Now, here's some good news. In Zimbabwe, if I'm not mistaken, on the 17th of January, remember I'm saying, if I'm not mistaken, I'm not too sure of the date, but what I know is in January, we in our nation, we witnessed a very good development. That is the launching of the National Venture Credit Company of Zimbabwe, NVCCZ. Its primary purpose is exactly what I've explained, that venture capitals are organizations or companies which uses their expertise to mobilize significant financial resources, and then they identify different early stage new business startups which are creative, innovative, and the whole idea there is, if you are able, number one, to come up with a creative idea, number two, to convince the venture capitalist in terms of its growth. You need to come up with an objective and viable strategy for growth. Is that creative new business able to grow? Are you able to upscale it? This is what venture capitalists are usually looking at, because they want to sponsor it at the early stage, and then they can recoup or get much of their benefits when they can grow the business. It becomes booming either nationally or provincially or regionally or internationally. So usually these are the most important factors. And another thing is your cost management. How are you going to manage your cost? And also the issue of standardization. How are you going to replicate this model so that it becomes a model which you can replicate wherever you are going? So these are venture capitalists, another source of funding. Then you also have what we call business angels. Business angels are individuals These are not companies, but these are what? Individuals who, out of their desire, voluntarily say they would want to fund those that want to start their businesses. Some of these individuals fall within the category where we say philanthropist. So you look at an individual, they've made it in life. There might be people from different walks of life. They might be in business, they might not be in business, they might be retiring, but they're saying, hey, look, I have made it in life. Why can't I have 1, 2, 3, 4, or 7 young people that I can help to make it in life? So these are what we call business angels. So these are another source of funding. Where again can we get funding, or can we help you to get funding? We are now talking of government grants. Those of you that read widely, you would know that time and again, our government, for example, through the Ministry of Youth or through the Ministry of Women Affairs, Small and Medium Enterprise, Community Development, time and again, come up with a number of funding schemes, some of which are grants, with our Reserve Bank playing an active role. So government grants is another very viable source of funding. Where again can you get funding to sponsor or to finance your business? We are looking at asset disposal. What is asset disposal? Asset disposal is whereby you have some piece of asset. It could be a furniture, it could be a bicycle, it could be a laptop. There are many businesses that were founded and driven simply because the entrepreneur cashed their asset. They said, let me sell my iPhone. My uncle bought me this iPhone as my birthday present. Did you know that you can actually sell your iPhone and use that amount of money to start a business? Yes. There are so many businesses that you can start by simply trading in your laptop. Okay? So that's another source of what? Of funding. Another source of funding is what we call crowdfunding. You have heard people talk about GoFundMe, and Facebook. It's not very difficult. You come up with a carefully crafted strategy, put it on Facebook or on other digital space, and then you are now allowing the billions of people globally. Because when you talk about crowdfunding, you are actually sourcing funds from billions of people across the globe. And for as long as you carefully craft your funding strategy, you can actually fund your new business through crowdfunding. What is the next source of funding that you can use? You can also use what we call the development finance. What are development finance? There are so many organizations in the civic sector that are interested in promoting entrepreneurship under what they call economic livelihoods. It also falls under community development, or the name that we are very much accustomed to is NGO, non-governmental organizations in the civic sector. There are many of them locally, regionally, and internationally. So you can also again put up a bankable winning proposal and secure funding from these multilateral institutions or from these development organizations. Okay, even organizations such as UNDP, organizations such as our own African Development Bank, Youth, UNESCO, all these international organizations, when you follow them time and again, you can actually see that here and there they can come up with a specific funding which is targeted towards either young people or towards a certain sector. Where again can you get funding? You can also get funding from private organizations. We are now talking about the private sector. These are now registered private limited companies or public limited companies, but they're in the private sector, okay? They may be in the agricultural sector, construction sector, transport, warehousing, trading, retail. What we are saying is you can approach any of these. For example, it could be banks, it could be insurance companies. Again, for as long as you come up with a carefully crafted business proposal, you may actually secure funding from a bank or from an insurance company. Why will a bank fund you? Why will an insurance company fund you? Why will some private limited company, maybe they're into motor spares or motor vehicles, fund you? For as long as they see that there is value in what you are doing and in what you want to do, you can actually further advance their business. You find that they are going to fund you. So you can see that I have explained quite a list of sources of funding. I know you were saying, so where am I going to get funding? Now, you're going to leave the rest to us. We have the experience in guiding you step by step, which of all these sources of funding best suits the type of business that you are, the risk that is involved. So leave everything to us. We will help you to secure funding. Ourselves as EIZ, we are in the process of actually also building some pool of funds using the coaching fees that you are going to pay, which are quite affordable. I'm going to mention them. So it is our strategy as well, that is, you are going to pay your coaching fees. We are going to use that fees, put it into a pool of fund so that we begin to lend to you again at lower interest rates, much lower than what you get in the market. So this is the options for funding. Now let us look at how much is it going to cost you to enroll in this program for business mentorship. Remember, I said there is an initial mandatory period of 1 year, which is 2 semesters. Whether you are going to succeed in starting your business within this first year or whether you are not, it is mandatory to undergo the first year. So how much is it? It is only going to cost you $100 US, $20 the annual registration, and $80 US being the mentorship fee. So altogether it's $100 US, which is quite affordable when you look at it. Try to divide it by 12. Even if you just say divide by 10, it's like we are saying $10 per month. Because if you say 10 into 100, that's $10 per month. And you and I know very well that our parents are actually paying in excess of $10. Some are paying 20, some 40, just for an extra lesson. But here we are talking of coaching you for the whole year. Let me repeat. We are talking of coaching you for the entire year, 12 months, 2 semesters, only at $100 US. I don't think in our market, not only in the Zimbabwean market, but even in the region, in SADC, and even in Africa, I don't think you are going to come across such an empowering program which seeks to equip you with skills so that you can more successfully start your own business and secure your future, given that the unemployment is quite high. Given that, yes, you are going to graduate, we know you are going to pass, but the challenge is after you graduate, then what? Even those that are in teaching, you are not secured 100% that you are going to be assigned and deployed. Many have gone for 10 years, 15 years without even setting their foot in a classroom as a teacher. And this is why we are saying this is your fallback program. So I want to encourage you to enroll in our EIZ SGVP program so that you get this qualification. And what happens is at the end of the year, everyone will get a certificate to acknowledge that they have been equipped with these skills to more successfully start their own businesses. Then those that succeed in starting their business in the second semester of the first year, what then do we do? It is mandatory, I repeat, it is mandatory to then enroll for an additional 3 years. It is mandatory that you enroll for an additional 3 years. This is now the very, very important duration, because now you are running a business. You are now a business lady, a business gentleman, a businesswoman, or a businessman, and you are now confronted with a number of challenges, or multiplicity or myriad challenges as you are operating your business. For example, issues to do with marketing. How are you going to successfully market your products and services? How are you going to develop more and better, innovative, competitive, and creative products and services? You are confronted with issues of how can you develop your market. There are many, many entrepreneurs who are producing some very, very fabulous products and services, but one of the biggest challenges, they fail to get a market for their products and services. So we are there to mentor you. Issues to do with operations. When you talk of operations, we are speaking about your production. What are the raw materials that are required? Raw materials might be tangible, might not be tangible. We are talking here about the inputs. What is it that you require to input so that you are then going to process? So when you talk of production, we are saying there are the inputs. Watch my hands. You have the inputs here. And once the inputs are gathered, then you have got the next stage, which is the processing stage. And then you have got the output stage, where you now have the finished goods, which then go for marketing. And when they go for marketing, you get your money, which is the income. So this production and operation is again quite challenging. You need to come up with an effective production and operation strategy, which will help you to ensure that there is flawless movement of goods being finished and materials coming at the right time. And it is during production and operations where you're going to face challenges, which we'll call in our business terminology pilferage. Let me go in our vernacular. You have heard people talk about mbudzi inodya payakasungirirwa. So if you are not careful, it is again during this production that you can actually lose quite a lot. Your inputs, your materials may be stolen. Your semi-finished goods may be stolen. Your finished goods may again be stolen. So all these challenges, how are you going to manage them? So that's why you need an additional 3 years of business mentorship. Now, I don't want to take a lot of time. I've explained quite a lot on production. There are again challenges when it comes to issues of human resources. How are you going to recruit the right people with the right talent? And how are you going to manage their appetite for compensation? Because employees are not just going to join your organization for the sake of it. They are going to ask you, what's in it for me? If I become your employee, and so what am I going to get? How much is the salary? Is it US dollar? Is it 100% ZIG? Or is it a hybrid? And what is the component of the ZIG vis-a-vis the US dollar? Are you going to pay me, subscribe for pension scheme? What about NASA? Are you going to insure me in terms of my health, medical health? Is it me and my fiance, my boyfriend, my wife, my kid? Employees have got so much in terms of bargaining. Again, we are there to assist you. And remember, when it comes to issues of employee, this is quite a risky issue, because if you don't do it properly, you will be sued, you find yourself in the labor courts, and this can collapse your company, as you are told you owe your employees so much, and punishment plus move, that kind of a thing. No, it's not only HR issues, you are also looking at issues to do with finance. How are you going to manage your finance effectively? The recording of all the transactions and the understanding of what it means when you have done your booking, your accounting. Are you making money? It does not mean that if you make sales, it does not mean that your company is profitable, because you still need to compute out the expenditure. It is only after you have done that that you are able to say, okay, we are on the right direction. It's not the only division. You also have what we call the Management Information Systems division. This is whereby we are saying, what is it that you have that you're going to use to leverage or to exploit databases, technologies, so that they gather information, be it information to do with operations, information to do with competition, information to do with government policy, information to do with the environment, information to do with the national and global politics, information to do with marketing, information to do with IT, information to do with finance. You need this database of information. It will help you to more effectively and professionally manage your business. So can you see that it's quite a lot? Then issues of the natural environment itself. As you are operating your business, what is the impact of your business to our physical environment, to our water, to our fish, to our birds, and the other animals in the wildlife? Because again, if you don't do it properly, you find you have a ticket from Emma because you've breached a certain rule. So we help you to do proper environmental and social impact assessment. You are a business, it means you are a corporate citizen. What are you giving back to your own community? You might be coming from Dangamfra, from Sakuba, or from Warren Park. Yes, you grew up from Bari, but now that you have a business, is there anything that you're doing so that you give back to your community? All this falls under corporate social responsibility. So what we are saying is these are the 3 years whereby we will be mentoring you so that you emerge an all-round professional businessman or businesswoman or business lady or business gentleman. And of course, one very important thing that will mentor you in is family business management. Most businesses, not only in Zimbabwe or Africa or in the region or continent, international, but globally, the majority of businesses are known as family businesses. When people start businesses, usually they prefer the type of a family business. Husband and wife, boyfriend and girlfriend. Then the next time they involve kids, uncle, nieces. That's it. So how do you manage a family business more successfully? There are issues of succession planning. So we will again mentor you so that your business can become what we call a transgenerational business. So that's why we are saying it's mandatory for the 3 years to undergo our coaching. I know I've said a lot, so let me revise again. What is our program called? Start, Grow Your Venture program. How much does it cost? It costs $100 per year, $100 per year, and you can also pay the equivalence of our local currency, which is the ZiG. If you manage to start your business in the 2nd year, then you enroll for an additional 3 years. If you don't manage, it's not a problem. Everyone will be given a certificate at the end of the 1st year. Then those that could not manage to start their business during the 1st year, when they are done with their college or university degree, they can then come back and say, I am now ready. Can you now help me to start my business and mentor me? And I have summarized that. So when is it starting? It has started today. So if you are watching this podcast, when is this program starting? We are saying it has started today. For quite a number of students, it actually started previously. But for you, because you are seeing this for the first time, it has started today. So all you need to do is to get in touch with us so that you register and then we can help you. Maybe one last thing that you might want clarity is the mode of learning. Are you going to come into a classroom? No. Why are we doing it? We know that as college and university students, you are very busy, focused on your current diploma or degree programs. So this is not a face-to-face, it's an online coaching, so that you are able to simply click the link, and then you are directed to the first lecture or first coaching, second, third, and like that. Then in between, we will arrange some face-to-face workshops, which could be twice per month, so that we get to see each other. And also, as you attend these coaching, you get some self-help activities just to measure your understanding. Remember, any teaching which is done and you don't have an assessment, the chances that you might not, really put your effort are high, because you're saying, why put my effort if I read, I don't have an assignment, there's no measurement. So there's a self-help activity where we give you some practical activities, and then we can always give you feedback which will help you in your performance. But what is not there, there are no tests, there are no examinations, because that is academic, which is not our focus. Our focus is practical. So there are no tests, there are no examinations. We know that you are already writing as many tests and as many examinations, so there is nothing like that. But there are self-help activities and case studies to help you master effectively starting, managing, and growing your business. So here are the contact details. Our mobile number, which is on WhatsApp, is +263 77 335 3800. +263 77 335 3800. Let me take it the last time. +263 77 335 3800. And our email address is eiz@sbgazim.com. eiz@sbgazim.com. That's our email address. Please get in touch with us today so that you get enrolled. Between right now and at the end of March, this is the recruitment period. What do I mean by the recruitment period? All those that are interested in starting this program, this is the recruitment period. As from April onwards, we start the coaching. So please get in touch with us so that we give you your registration number, and then you can pay your $100. And once you do that, April, we start. And remember, those that start are usually those that have greater chances of securing funding, because those that we are talking with a number of key stakeholders, because they will ask us, show us the list of students that are interested, and let us see the list of the projects. Because what is going to happen is, we are going to ask you to write your name, your surname, your college, your student ID number, and the project that you want to do, and the amount of money that you want. So our key stakeholders would require that list. So those that start early, register early, give us their details early, are the ones that also have a greater chance of being funded. And also, let me underline, I cannot tell you that you are 100% going to get funding, because I am not the funder. So funding is not going to be automatic. But what I know is, we are there to lobby on your behalf, and we are there to help you secure the funding and to comply with the terms and conditions of each particular funder. Okay, now my name, I said, is Dr. Charlie. The full name is Charles Dawa. I hold a PhD in management from Manchester Metropolitan University in the United Kingdom, interdisciplinary entrepreneurship and HRM. I will be your lead coach here at EIZ. We are on first name basis. I know that in most parts of Africa, we normally use the surname. That's why we say Mr. Dube or Mrs. Banda. But in the Western culture, they are on first name basis. And in EIZ, we are on first name basis. So we simply call you Roger, Sue. We even give you the opportunity to say, how do you prefer to be called? You might be called Roger, but you say, no, just call me RG. We'll call you RG. Or you might be called George and you prefer to be called G. We simply say G or J. So in my case, feel free to call me Dr. Charlie. Okay, I think that's about it. So please like our channel. That way you help us to grow, and also click the subscriber button, because when you do that, you become the first to be notified each time we release the latest announcement. And please share this link, share this video with all your friends. Tell them EIZ is now there and it has launched. Okay, where do we operate as EIZ? We operate in colleges that we have entered into partnership with. So you will find us in different colleges that we have entered into some strategic partnerships with. And if you want to find out whether in the city where you are, we are there. Feel free to let us know. But I am proud to tell you that you can find us at Mutare Teachers College. You can find us at Hillside Teachers College in Bulawayo. And you can find us at Gweru Polytechnic in Gweru. We are still negotiating with a number of colleges in Zimbabwe. But these three that I've mentioned, we are already there. Mutare Teachers College, Hillside Teachers College in Bulawayo, and Gweru Polytechnic in Gweru. Otherwise, that's all from me. Bye, Dr. Charlie. See you on the next sign-off. Okay, bye-bye. E-I-Z. Yo, yeah, yo, yeah, yo, yeah. E-I-Z. Not Dr. Charlie. E-I-Z. Yo, yeah, yo, yeah, yo, yeah. E-I-Z. Why don't you join us? E-I-Z. Yo, yeah, yo, yeah, yo, yeah. E-I-Z. Now Dr. Charlie. E-I-Z. Yo, yeah, yo, yeah, yo, yeah. E-I-Z. Why don't you join us? So there you are. Bye.